is Michele Knight, and this is the astrological update for Aries for the whole of October. Now, this is a very full-on and intense month. We've been getting used to this though, because the world is going through a transformation and the heavens and the planets are mirroring to us deep issues for us to transform so that we can move on and evolve and grow. And this month is very much focused on relationships to begin with. We have a Uranus and Sun opposition that's bringing about the unexpected when it comes to love. There's a part of you that wants to express your free spirit, or it could be that a partner or someone you're attracted to says something completely out of the blue and you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. You are being urged to come at all things this month with a softness and a compassion in your heart. Otherwise, particularly by the time we get to the end of the month, there could be a few power struggles coming your way. The new moon on the 5th is an excellent time for you to step into a new way of being when it comes to communicating with people, and in a way find your inner balance and your inner harmony when it comes to relationships. But don't get me wrong, there is going to be some testing times this month, particularly when it comes to somebody in a position of power, probably around work, but we'll get into that in a minute. Now, there's also a 4-planet stellium on the 6th, and that's Moon, Mercury, Venus and Saturn, and that's leading you into issues of life, death, rebirth, power and powerlessness. And as a Aries myself, I know that the one thing we cannot stand is feeling powerless. In fact, if we feel powerless, that's often, it can bring out the worst in us because we can go into warrior mode. But, you know, all of us have to learn to evolve and deal with things, not from a primal gut reaction, as is our natural Aries want, but from understanding that when we learn to use our talent for being impulsive and use our talent for, you know, positive warriors of love and war when we need to, then we are more empowered. If we just react and blow up to every situation, our life ends up being chaos and destruction. So really, you're urged to go deep within yourself and heal some of your demons from your past and look at some of the things in your life that make you feel jealous, anxious, or powerless. And within that, you should find a deep warren of treasure where you will learn to understand the depths of your being, the depths of your compassion, because you are a very compassionate being, and to learn to deal with the hero within you in a different way. So you may find yourself feeling the odd primal emotion or coming up with a power struggle with someone, but you are being urged to just open your heart. And the first thing to do is that, is this my pattern? Does this remind me of something of the past? And deal with it in that way rather than just letting all the volcanic fire out. Venus, the planet of love, is also pushing you to stretch yourself when it comes to love. If you're single, it's fabulous. It might mean that you meet someone eccentric, different, unusual, which you like, and you might be led in a different direction. And a type of relationship that stretches you and brings out your adventurous side and takes you on a whole new journey. If you're in a relationship, within yourself, you're learning to break out of patterns of insecurity and come into your power and to seek freedom within relationships for yourself and other people. It's very, very powerful, the relationship stuff going on this month. We then move on to a T-square on the 12th, that's where there could be a bit of a power struggle when it could come to a power struggle with someone in your career or work, or someone that you feel is in a position of authority, and you might find yourself kicking and screaming. But again, I urge you to be still. Sometimes the key to success is to respond differently to how other people suspect. If you've worked with someone for a long time, they probably know what buttons to push and you can go, rah! If somebody presses your buttons. I mean, in fact, that's our weak point. We have very easy buttons to push. If, however, you react differently, like a ninja, that is when you can overcome the situation, because it is a bit like that book, The Art of War. You don't do the obvious thing. You think about how you want to become the victor. Of course, I don't mean the victor, because we are all one. We're all one consciousness. And actually, we should be helping each other in a compassionate way, but you catch my drift. Now, Mars, your ruler, my ruler too, on the 15th, is going into the position of details and the small stuff and looking after yourself and having to pay full attention to things. This can be frustrating because Mars doesn't like to hang about, but it also gives you the power to really deal with some stuff that possibly you haven't wanted to deal with, and then to move forward, to look after yourself. And through this, you find yourself being able to lurch ahead in a way that you couldn't have even foreseen. The 3 planets, stellium on the 15th, Moon, Neptune and Chiron, are bringing about your psychic and intuitive self. You're already feeling things, you're already alert at that time of the month to little nuances in people. Your wisdom, your connection to source, your connection to, I don't like the word higher power, your connection to your many selves in many dimensions is very clear in that time. So use it wisely, and it's a great time to heal a wound within yourself and to have great psychic insight into others. The double T-square also occurs on that day, but maybe your insight can get you through any problems. And if you are being excessive in any way, this will come to the fore then. Oops. And you're being urged to look after yourself very gently and very calmly. A grand water trine on the 16th, I told you it was all go, is quite emotional for you when it comes to your family, possibly your past, possibly past relationships, possibly even your childhood. You're feeling things very deeply, and something may occur that makes you think about the past, or it makes you aware of your family and your ancestral roots. And it's a great opportunity to heal, because I believe that ground water trines are very healing. They soak us with this energy, but not to like make us miserable and over emotional, but actually to wash away our pain. Now, the full moon on the 18th is very important because it's in our sign. Happy days. But there's also an eclipse of that moon, that full moon. So if there's any endings, emotional endings, you might find yourself just cutting off from someone at that time, or releasing something emotionally. It's a whole emotional rebirth for you. And Mercury on the 21st goes retrograde, and it's in your position of power, powerlessness, life, death, rebirth, sex, jealousy, obsession. And you may find that you're communicating with someone or something from your past that brought up a lot of intense emotion for you. But it's urging you not to get swallowed up by that. In fact, it's urging you to, in a way, be very pure and handle things from a very spiritual dynamic. We also have the sun entering the position of life, death, rebirth, powerlessness, secrets, and you're feeling very deep. This is the time of year anyway, every year, that you feel very deep. You go within a little bit more than usual, and you seek to find the real depths of situations, and you can't bear superficiality. It's also the time of year where you need to watch out for being jealous or out of control or having intense emotions that come out of your unconscious. So be very aware of, well, obviously you can't be aware you're unconscious, wouldn't be called the unconscious, but, you know, get to know your shadow, get to know your soft points and deal with it in that way. There are a couple more T-squares and a double kite, and there's also a ground water trine on the 24th, which is again bringing up issues of family and deep emotions. It's a very emotional time for you, but it's also a time where great healing can come when it comes to relationships. And I would urge you to understand the most powerful thing that you can do is not repeat the cycle and respond in the way that you normally do. Think out of the box. Don't try try any technique you can not to respond immediately. And be clever in the way that you respond to situations if you truly want to be in your power. Otherwise, you could fall into someone's trap. Anyway, I send you much love. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.